Hey, yo. G'day, cobbers. Cobbers, what does that mean, Ox? What is that? Yeah, good evening, folks. All three of you. Oh, it's just jumped up to 7 there. You know, sometimes when I'm starting this live stream, it'll be at like 1 or 0. And then all of a sudden it'll jump up and I always panic. And then I think to myself, well, you know what? If no bugger's watching this, then it doesn't matter. I'll just do it I'll just record it like I would any other video. So listen, I wasn't planning to do a video tonight, but here I am. It's going to be, I'll probably go to 9 o'clock, no later. I've got no script at all. I do have some questions from the last couple of weeks. So fucking hell, how hot is it? I mean, seriously, how hot is it? Not that I'm complaining. I mean, there's a lot of people that detest the heat. They detest like light nights and what have you. I love it. The only time, it's not pleasant is when you're trying to sleep at night. Even up here in Scotland, it does get pretty sweaty and quite humid. So that's the only time. But the thing is it Tuesday? Tuesday next week is the is it solstice day they call it. It's the longest day. So after Tuesday, it's going to start getting dark again. Oh shit! Ox is saying weather's been amazing all week here, and I had the week off. Oh, fantastic, mate! Brilliant. I'll tell you how hot. Too bloody hot. I mean, I understand why some people don't like it. The thing is, I'm quite a kind of outdoorsy person. When you've got dogs and what have you, it's nice to be able to kind of get out, still light and all that kind of stuff. So, anyway, what the hell have I been up to since? When did I do the last waffle? Did it on Thursday? Let me think. Didn't do very much on Friday. Saturday, I did my Cooksoul testing. Now, I'm not going to bore you going on and on and on and on and on. But Cooksoul is a martial art that I do, and every 3 months you get tested, and if you pass, you go up a belt. Well, you go up half a belt. So if you're a white belt and then you get your test and you pass, you get a little, it's effectively a little bit of electrician's tape put around the belt. So you go up to a yellow tab and then you get a yellow belt and then a blue tab, blue belt, da 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 da. So I was a blue belt and I managed to get my red tab. So the next belt I'll be going for will be red. I'm stupidly proud of what I've done. I mean, I've been going for a year and a half, and for a fat old bloke like myself to kind of get 3 belts at a martial art is, I'm proud of myself. I don't mind saying that. So that was Saturday morning, and then on Saturday night I went to see the Proclaimers. I think I did mention that I was going, and brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Bit like the Hot Weather, the Proclaimers are a band that I can totally understand why a lot of English people hate them, because they're pure Scottish. Like Ox is saying, can you headbutt a pile of bricks in half? Yeah, absolutely. You got that when you went for your yellow tab. Sorry, I'm thinking of Exploding Fist. Not quite, but one thing that you do have to do when you go for your full belt is you have to break a board. Now, we don't get to practice breaking boards. You do a palm strike, you just hit it with your palm. People think you punch it, you don't, you hit it with your palm of your hand. So you don't get to practice it. So I've had 2 board breaks and I've managed both of them. The secret is don't aim for it, aim beyond it. So if the board's there, you hit through it, aim behind it. That's top tip. Trust your old Uncle Mainmeister. You want to break a board in half, aim through it. So yeah, Proclaimers concert. It was in a what could only be described as a circus tent. If you imagine a big circus tent, the concert was in there. Now, you could sit outside. People were gathering outside. So we decided, I went with my girlfriend, we took 2 collapsible chairs, and we parked up in a field, £10 to park in a field. When we got to the gate, the guy's like, "No, you're not getting me the chairs, mate." I says, "No, it's my girlfriend. She cannot stand for like 4 hours at a time. She needs to sit. She's got a medical condition. She needs to be able to sit down, and she can't sit on the grass because she basically wouldn't be able to get up again. She's just in so much pain with her back." So I said, "Look, what I'll do is I'll put my chair back. Can we get in with this one?" He went, "Well, you can try, but I don't think they'll let you in." So then as I put one chair back in the car, and then as we were walking around, of course, nothing straightforward. They don't let you straight in. You've got to go all the way bloody around to the gate. As we're walking around, there was 2 security people, and they're like, "Oh, you're not going to get in with that chair, mate." And I'm like, "Ah, for fuck's sake." I says, "Look, she's got a medical condition." "Well, you can try, you can try." Anyway, cut a long story short, we got to the main entrance, and rather than piss about with, like, what do you call them, running the mill security people, I saw a guy with a big supervisor security waistcoat on. So spoke to him, and as soon as he saw me, what was the first thing he said? "You're not getting with that chair, mate." And I tried to explain that, she could not stand for 4 hours. I mean, this was about 4 o'clock, and the Proclaimers weren't coming on until 8:30, so it's going to be 4.5 hours. He says, "You really can't let you in. Really, really sorry." So we sat outside on the grass for a wee bit, and then we thought, fuck it, you know what? I don't even know the support acts. So we went back to the car to go all the way around, back to the car, and then we drove into a place called Kelso, which is not that far from Ox, to be fair. It's a little village or a little town, even in Russ, a little town in the borders of Scotland. We drove around there, had a walkabout, went for a fish supper, had a fish supper between us, and then we got back. And rather than go back into the car park, we thought, fuck it, we'll just park in there was a little space we parked there. So eventually got back round with no chair because they wouldn't let us in. And I thought because my girlfriend's got a sore back that she might want to stand sort of towards the back. But she says, oh no, let's go up a wee bit closer. And eventually we ended up second row for the front, so we're quite literally at the front, which was great. We had a fantastic view. Have I got? No, I can't even I was going to let you see a wee clip. Doesn't matter. Really good view. And you know what? You can say what you want about the Proclaimers. The thing that I really like about them is they're true to themselves. They don't try and pretend they're anything other than who they are. They've never changed. They sing in their own accent. They don't put it on. I know some people probably think that they do put it on. It's not put on. I mean, I've been following the Proclaimers since like 1987, 1988. And the thing I really like about them is neither of the twins are they're not Brad Pitt, put it that way. I mean, it's quite funny because is it Craig? I think he's the lead singer. He was up singing, and then he took his glasses off because it was so warm. He took his glasses off, and he lifted up his t-shirt to kind of rub his glasses, and he's got a bit of a pot belly, and they don't care. They don't care. I mean, they came on. They says, "Good evening, thanks for coming. It's great to be, back in the borders." And then that was it. Every now and again they'd say thank you, but they just battered out the hits. And to give you a little bit of background, my father, he was born and bred in a place called Leith, which, if you're from Edinburgh, you would say Leith is part of Edinburgh. If you're from Leith, they look upon Leith as being a separate place. They don't look upon themselves as coming from Edinburgh. So my mum and dad and my two sisters, they were born and bred in Leith. And when my mum passed away, my dad would be in his 70s at this point. He started up his own website. He started up his own website, and it was initially dedicated to, what do you call it, to my mum. And then he started putting up like anecdotes about. I'm just going to turn that down a wee bit. Oh, hang on, my phone's making a noise. What's that song they no longer do live? It's incredible. It's a woman's name. Is it Jean? There's one. Oh, Jean. Don't know. Anyway, yeah, getting back on topic. So my dad started up this website, and it became, he was talking about, his memories growing up during the Second World War, going to school, and, really fascinating stuff. And there was more and more like Leithers, people from Leith who no longer live there, expats living in Canada, Australia, New Zealand, all over. They kind of came to this website that my dad had put together. And anyway, getting to kind of finish up quickly, the Proclaimers brought out Sunshine on Leith. And when my dad passed away in 2013, that song was written for my dad. It was all about the chief, Sunshine on Leith. The words are so poignant to my dad's passing, to the point that when he died, there was only one song that we were going to play at his funeral, and that was it. And yeah, you know what? It was incredible. It was incredible to be standing at the front of the concert and seeing these guys up close and personal singing my dad's song. And I don't mind admitting, as I was standing there, I mean, I did film. I'm not a big fan of people filming things, but I wanted to record this. As I was filming it, the tears were running in my face. Just real emotional. So, you know, brilliant, absolutely brilliant concert. That was Saturday. Sunday, I can't remember what I did. Did I do a live stream? Yeah, I did. I did an Atari live stream. Monday, Cook Soul. Tuesday, can't remember. Probably working on my definitive techno parrot. Do you like the title I gave it? Techno Parrot Emulator, the definitive video. I was talking to Dale last night on the phone, and I told him that. I says, it's bullshit. And he went, nah, good for you, mate. So yeah, doing that. So anyway, tonight, when I finish this, the reason I need to kind of end it at 9 o'clock is at 10:15 tonight. I will be picking up 3 of my mates, and we will be driving to Mulgai, which is it's sort of west of Glasgow, northwest of Glasgow, and yeah, at 1 o'clock in the morning, my mate Pete is going to be taking part in the West Highland Way race. It's a race I've done 4 times. I'm extremely jealous that I'm not getting to run it. I'm not physically capable of running it. Now, maybe with the right training, I could do it. So we are going to be supporting him. So that's going to be us from 1 o'clock in the morning. With any luck, Pete will finish about 5, 6 o'clock Sunday morning. He's going to be running for about 28 to sort of 30 hours. You can never take it for granted because it's a long way. It's 96 miles over the West Highland Way. So that's where I'm going to be. Yeah, I should have been playing 500 miles or 96 miles. That's the sequel. Yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing this weekend, and that's why there won't be a live stream on Sunday, because I'm still going to be up in Fort William, hopefully getting drunk at that point. So, yeah, anyway, listen, thanks very much to everybody that's dropped in tonight. Right, what I'm going to do... So I'm just looking. By the way, if there's any questions or anything that you want answered, Ox is saying he likes to look at that techno parrot, going to have to make space. I was telling Dale, you can quite easily find the ROMs. Seriously, just Google techno parrot ROMs. There's one website which is easily findable, and all the ROMs are there. So you can download techno parrot for free. You can download all the ROMs for free. You'll be able to play all of them apart from about 30, which still leaves about 170. If you want to pay Patreon, then obviously you get access to all of them. Yeah, it's brilliant. But I was telling Dale that the whole ROMs directory comes to 1 terabyte. Yeah, there you go, Ox. It's exactly 1 terabyte. That's how big it is. You don't have to have every single game. But being a nerd like me, of course you're going to download every single game. Why wouldn't you want every version of the same game? But trust me, it's absolutely worth it. I'm having great fun with it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully that kind of gave you a flavour as to kind of just how good it is. But yeah, what's Dell saying? He had 11 laptops, got 10 now, as I have a TechnoParrot drive now in an external enclosure. So have you started downloading them then, Dell? Yeah, as Oak says, you absolutely have to have them all. Right, listen, I'm going to, time is of the essence. I'm going to look at the questions from the 2nd of June, because I didn't answer them because I did a live waffle last week. So, LFC Gamer and Vlogs, thank you for the kind words, and again for answering my random as hell questions. To say Richard is in 32 bits is rather generous. I can't. The problem with answering questions from 2 weeks ago, I can't remember what I was talking about. Anyway, let's have a wee look. Right, waffle question. Number 1, if you were on a desert island, what 3 albums would you take with you and why? Christ, that's a difficult one. I mean, I'm going to take them because I like them. What 3 albums? I would take Spanish Train by Krusty Burr. It was the first Krusty Burr album I ever heard, and it's got so much nostalgia and happy memories for me. Yeah, it just my mum used to like some of the songs in it. I still listen to it. I still listen to that on a regular basis. So Spanish Train by Christy Bar. It's got so many happy memories for me. That would be my kind of mainstream one. What else would I listen to? I would probably listen to Bat Out of Hell. Yeah, again, it's a great rock album. It's soft rock. It's kind of it's more like operatic rock, but it's fantastic. It's one of the best albums ever written, in my opinion. So yeah, Bat Out of Hell by Meatloaf. Let me think. What other album would I take? I would probably, I was going to say, it might either be like Oxygen, or could we have a greatest hits? Of course we can. Yeah, I would probably get Jean-Michel Jarre's greatest hits. Again, it's timeless. You never get sick of listening to it. And it's just a bloody good album. So there you go. Back to the Hell, Christy Burr, Spanish Train, and Jean-Michel Jarre greatest hits. Do you have any funny stories during your Commodore 64 and or Amiga days? Funny stories. I've told quite a few of these in the past. All right, the Amiga days. We used to go to, before like mainstream shops like what do you call it? Boots. In fact, I don't think that Boots in my area ever sold video games. John Michel Jarre, bloody hell, John Menzies. They used to sell games before these mainstream shops sold games. It was Ray's Computer Shop, and yeah, we used to go there every Saturday and we would buy a game. And depending on the shop that Ray had was, I don't know, twice the size of this room, not particularly big. And depending on what kind of mood Ray was in, if there was nobody else in his shop, it would be friendly to you. Don't get, not in a Gary Glitter friendly type of way, but just friendly. Would talk to you and would let you play games and all that. If he knew that you weren't buying anything, and then like other customers came in, he could be quite kind of cold and dismissive. But yeah, we used to go in all the time, and he knew us pretty well. And there was one time where we asked him, I think in fact it might be an Atari ST actually, but I asked him if we could try a couple of games. And he was busy. He had this little sort of office type back room, whatever you want to call it. And he was kind of going back and forwards into this room. And we took a copying disc along plus some blank discs. So whilst he was in the little office, he was giving us games to play, but what he didn't realise is we were actually copying them. So I think we copied 3 or 4 games under his nose. Yeah, it's neither big nor clever, folks, so don't do it. Any funny stories with the Commodore 64? Any funny stories? Don't think I've got any funny stories as such, but yeah, back in the good old days of the computer club. I know I've got a computer club now, but I used to go to a computer club back in the day, and it was effectively a piracy club. This was, I mean, I'd passed my driving test at that point. I passed my driving test when I was 18 years old. And depending on, I couldn't afford a car at that point, depending on whether my dad was, I wouldn't say in a good mood, because my dad was a lovely guy. But sometimes he would let us borrow his car, other times he wouldn't. And if he wouldn't let us borrow the car, we had to go up to this computer club and we had to walk, and it was probably the best part of 2 miles. And you had to take your own TV and you had to carry your computer. So there was me and my mate Grant, portable TV in one hand. He used to actually take his Spectrum in a suitcase, could still a little travel bag. I can't remember what I put my Commodore 64 in, but there was us like lugging this Commodore 64 plus disk drive plus TV up this 2 mile walk to the computer club just so we could copy games and then we'd come back down again. But Yeah, I've got tons and tons of stories about, especially about the Amiga days, the piracy and all that. You tend to notice a lot of my stories revolve around piracy, but there you go. And the last one from LFC, since you Scottish folk love anything deep fried, what is your favourite battered food? What is my favourite battered food? I'm trying to think. I mean, I do like a fish supper, but that's a bit kind of too predictable. Favourite battered food? I would probably go for a king rib. I take it you know what a king rib is. It's a piece of meat that's probably 10% meat and 90% gristle, bones, eyeballs, testicles, you name it, all the horrible bits of the animal is ground into this paste. Is it called reformed? I think that's what they call it, reformed meat. But it's got this really nice. It's got this really nice sort of barbecue type kind of flavour to it, and they put it in a batter. So that's lovely. I do get that now and again. I also like the battered. No, in fact, we don't batter. That's a common myth. We don't batter pizza, but what we do is we deep fry them. So you get these little cheapo pizzas that you get with Morrison's for 50p, probably £2.50 now, and you get it chopped in half, and then they put it into deep fat and fry the thing, and they're delicious. They taste nothing like pizza, but they're deep fried, really nice. I have had LFC saying they're battered Mars bar as the future. I've tried one battered Mars bar, and I have to say it's really nice. I wouldn't eat it with chips, but if you go to the Chinese takeaway, you've probably tasted like banana with batter, and then they put like a syrup. You get like a syrup with it. Then you also get what is it again? Pineapple. Yeah, it's like pineapple rings, and they're deep fried. That's what you get that in our Chinese takeaways. So it's not really a battered Mars bar's not really any different from that. It's obviously extremely sweet. You wouldn't have sauce in it or anything like that with it, but yeah, I'll need to try that again actually. So there you go. I would probably go for my battered king rib. Thank you very much for the questions as always. Right, Milfy, hello again. Mainmeister, question for the next waffle. I mean, I like loads of stuff. I mean, what else do I like? I like white pudding. I love battered haggis, sausages, hamburgers. I like them all. There's not really anything I don't like. Dale mentioned fritters. Fritters are slices of potato with batter on them, and then they're deep fried. Evening, Craig. Yeah, sausage supper with curry sauce. Yeah, I like everything. You can probably tell I like chips. Anyway, right, I better mind my time. I've got 15 minutes to get this wrapped up. Question for next waffle. The way games are getting bigger and bigger, are people perhaps expecting too much to be packed into them? Is a whole virtual world and hundreds and thousands of hours of gameplay the only thing justifying the ridiculous prices of AAA games? I believe that what they're called, that is what is spoiling the pick up and play market of old. You know what? I'm going to disagree with you there, Milfy. I don't think that Lord Evil loves fried Teutons. What the hell's a fried Teuton? Is that how you pronounce it? Is it French? Toujon. A fried Toujon, please. Yeah, I don't think games are overpriced. I think they're actually really good value for money. We were talking about that a couple of weeks ago. A SNES game was 40 quid back in 1991, and that's equivalent of about 90 quid. Now you think of the programming that goes into a Street Fighter cartridge compared to what goes into games now. I think the games are actually pretty good value. if you watched or listened, I should say, to my podcast with Bill Harbison, Bill, one of the games that he picked that he doesn't like is, no, in fact, I'll tell a lie, one of the games that he picked that he does like is Zelda. And I've not got time for these games. You've got to invest way too much time. You've got to craft stuff and find stuff and all that bollocks. I can't be bothered with it at all. But people love them, and when you think about it, for example, my mate Panther, he plays in Lacosa. Both of them play a lot of Elite Dangerous. Now, I think Lacosa has put in, I've not spoken to Lacosa for a long time, but he has put in thousands and thousands and thousands of hours now. If you worked out, I don't know what he paid for the game, say he paid 50 quid. If you work that out and divide it by 1,000 hours, it's a lot more than that. I know that for a fact. I remember a couple of years ago he said that he'd done almost like half a year's worth into it. That is bloody good value for money. So no, I do disagree with you, Milfy, as far as I think that games now are really good value for money. They're not the kind of games that I want to play. There's a game coming out, and I can't even remember the life of me what it is. One of my mates put a post on Twitter. He'd just bought this controller for it. Now it's coming out from Bethesda, Starlight or something it's called. I know one of you guys is going to know what it's called, and it's like this epic. It's Skyrim in space. So a lot of people are really looking out for it. And what it always staggers me, just how much programming must go into these games. It's not a game I'm going to buy. Well, you know what? I'll probably all get it because I guarantee what's going to happen if it comes out and it's this incredible game that people are expecting it to be, then I know I'm going to end up buying it and I'll never ever play it. But I think these games, I think people are getting more value for money than ever, even in Martroid. Thanks, Milfy. Colin Jones, okay, go for it. Did you hear about the explosion in the cheese factory? There was debris everywhere. I tried hosting a cheese party at my house, but it didn't go well, so there's still tins left. Right. Okay. Waffle question. Pure fantasy. But if a Star Trek transporter did become reality, would you use it? Absolutely. Where would I go? This now, I do apologise for my lack of Star Trek knowledge, but does a Star Trek transporter, does that allow you to travel in time? Or does it just allow you to travel from place to place? I'm going to jump into the next question and I'll let Del Boy or somebody else answer that. Miles Star Electrics, more 30-minute video of shorts enough? I have absolutely no idea what he's talking about. Right, that was the second. Let's get last week's live. How are we doing for time? Right, I've got 10 minutes, folks. Friday Waffle, place to place, so it doesn't allow you to travel. Right, okay, it doesn't allow you to travel back in time or forward in time. It would be the perfect way I would use it all the time. Fuck it, I think I'll go to Death Valley for an hour, zoop. Being able to go to the moon. Well, there again, I need to be careful because I wouldn't want to appear at the moon and then instantly die because I can't breathe. But yeah, definitely, absolutely. Right, let's have a quick look at the questions from last week. There's only one, and it's Milfy. Right, hello again, Mainmeister. Question for the next Waffle. Do you ever play Commodore 64 games in NTSC? I've been messing about with it recently through Vice, and you can get some interesting results when a game runs in this mode. As an example, one of the greatest C64 games of all time, Rocket Ball, definitely Milfy, becomes even harder when playing against a computer, and the equally great Dave's Midnight Magic becomes a bit smoother and faster looking. Arlasos Berserk is also a good one to change up. You know what, Milty, I'll be honest, it's not a thing that I've ever really tinkered with. I think on the odd occasion I've been playing like a game, and I think, oh, this is a bit fast, and somebody will say to me, yeah, it's because you're playing it in ATSC. I will need to look at that. I mean, what I do occasionally do is using an emulator. You can just obviously increase the speed. They're saying that now that I've got the Mister, technically means that I could just load up the NTSC Commodore 64 and then it would play better. So no, to answer your question, Milty, no, I don't, but I am definitely going to start doing that. Brilliant. Right, listen, folks, that is all I've got to talk about. I've got 5 minutes if there's anything else we want to have a ramble about. Dale's saying, what did he say? He said something. Starfield, I think it is. Yes, this, I think it's by the same people that did, what do you call it? Skyrim. Skyrim? Yeah, Skyrim. I played Skyrim. I don't know, I played it for a few hours. But the problem that I've got is I kind of I lose. No, I don't lose interest. I kind of get. I stop playing it, and then I move on to something else. Yeah. Right. Anyway, listen, folks. I'm going to let you guys get going. Get outside. It's a nice night. You shouldn't be in. You shouldn't be in here watching this bollocks. So remember, there won't be any video on Sunday night because I'm going to be up in Fort William. All going well, I will be along on Monday night. I can't guarantee it for a live stream. I'll let you know. I'll do the usual posting in Discord and Facebook and all that kind of crap. It will be Atari 2600 Part 2, if I remember rightly. So anyway, folks, I'm going to let you get going. I need to go and get myself ready for my adventure. I hope you all have a nice Friday night. Have a really good weekend. Enjoy the weather, and I will hopefully catch you up on Monday night. Until next time, folks. As always, thank you very, very much for watching.